Okay. Hi, I'm WasKi, she, her pronouns, and I am going to be running Cadence of Hyrule, Crypt of the Necrodancer, featuring The Legend of Zelda. Very fun title. um, this is a rhythm roguelike dungeon crawler, and also a crossover with the Legend of Zelda series, of course. It's a very fun game. I'm very excited to show it off. I'm going to be running all barriers and castles. Time starts when I just start on the new game. So yep, 3, 2, 1, and yep, here we go. Okay, so this is a very interesting game. Gotta move to the beat. We always start as Zelda for this category. Because she gets that item up there, the blue thing, is Nehru's Love. It's like a shield that we use to reflect 2 damage back to enemies, well, 2 at max. It's just so much better than what Link gets. So yeah, we started Zelda. There are other reasons why we started Zelda. Like, we start in the castle. That's just a lot more advantageous position-wise on the overworld than starting at Link's house. But yeah, Zelda she's just pretty much objectively better than Link for running this game, that is. You'll notice me doing what we call bleep bloofs in the community, which is just pausing and unpausing the game in between beats to look at the map. So because this is a roguelike, everything's pretty much randomly generated. So that's how I gotta look at where I'm going, because I don't know where I'm going. And by pausing and unpausing in between beats, I'm not losing any time to look at the map. Right there, just talking to Cadence. Saw her very briefly at the start of the game. She, despite having her name in the title, isn't that important in the game, unfortunately. But she is there. But yeah, I got that loot from her, which is very important for speedrunning. It lets me warp back to Sheikah Stones without having to die to warp. So it's just very important to get my Sheikah Stone early as possible, pretty much. Right here, I'm gonna kill this Lionel and hope it gives me never mind, it's gonna kill me. That's okay. This is thankfully a lot less punishing than Crypt of the Necrodancer. If this was Necrodancer, like, this run would just be dead and I'd have to start over. Thankfully, that's a very minor time loss. It was actually intended. That death just setting up RNG for later. Definitely. RNG manip. Nah, it's okay. It happens. Another reason Zelda is a lot better than Link is that she's always above one of the dungeons being Frozen Grotto, which is just, it's always below the castle. So knowing where one of the 6 dungeons is, it's really nice. We need to go to these dungeons to get instruments. Those instruments will be used later on in the run to get into the castle, the proper castle itself. There's just a lot going on in this game. There's like never a dull moment practically. Just so much constantly you gotta look out for, especially in this category, since this is all barriers and castles. I have to do just a bit more than I would have to do otherwise, compared to what normal any percent is. So thankfully this layout for the overworld isn't actually that bad so far. Could be worse. I had to warp back to get past those trees, unfortunately. full of trees below, but it's alright. Going to Kakariko Crypt right now. Or Kakariko Village, rather. Kakariko Crypt. No, I'm thinking of Kack Graveyard in the future. That's alright. So yeah, this is where we unlock Link, or, well, I guess we wake him up, rather. But we don't really need him that much. We just need him to open the barrier to the castle later on, because otherwise you can't actually progress with the run. He does have very brief other brief uses throughout the run, but for the most part, we're not going to be seeing Link, or Cadence for that matter. I went out of my way to get a Wisdom Torch just then. Pretty good item, lets me see what's in these chests. So right here, for example, I know that Boots of Power is right there. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known what I was going to get. So that's actually a really good find. The Boots of Power is just a temporary damage up. So I was doing 2 damage, now I was doing 1 damage, now I'm doing 2, which is pretty convenient. I was hoping that Dark Nut would drop something helpful. Fortunately not. That's okay. Okay, I'm gonna go back to Grotto now with the use of my loot. Otherwise I'd have to just walk all the way back. That'd be horrible if you couldn't use your loot. If you're doing a low percent run, you can't. That's not a category that's really run, thankfully. Not something I'm personally a fan of. The low percent category for this game isn't that interesting. But yeah, now I'm in the first, one of the first dungeons in the game. You do get to choose the order of the dungeons, which is pretty cool, but I usually tend to do this one first, because it's, like, I always know where it's gonna be, and it's not too hard. So, yeah. Getting ready to fight Wizrobo. Pretty annoying boss fight, so I'm actually gonna... I just try to explain the boss ahead of time. So basically, he likes to teleport around, so I really want to kill him as quickly as I can. He likes to summon enemies and spit ice at me. Not fun, so I'm gonna pay attention. The song slaps, though. Okay, thankfully I didn't die. Or, I mean, I didn't I didn't lose that much time to that fight. It wasn't the best fight. Unfortunately, I didn't get a good weapon out of it. I did get the Pegasus anklet, though, before the fight, which was great. So now I can dash, which is just going to save a tiny amount of time throughout the run, but, you know, it helps. It's really good. Hoping one of these enemies, one of these mini-bosses drop items. But I don't know what items are going to drop. Okay, there we go. I finally got a glass weapon, which is going to be used, hopefully, for a good amount of the run. It is temporary damage up, unless I get hit. Gonna get the Din's Fire there, so that'll be used later on in the run when I get to the Temple of Brainstorms, puzzle-based dungeon that I can explain more about later when it's more relevant. Going to the future temporarily right now. This is DLC content. If you don't have the DLC, you can't go to the future behind. But yeah, I do that now because otherwise I have to backtrack and just waste a small amount of time. It's not actually going to do anything in the future until a bit later in the run. Maybe in like 5 or so minutes. Killed all those enemies to make the screen go into fixed speed mode, but I probably didn't have to do that. So that's okay. Good to demonstrate that killing all the enemies on a screen goes into fixed speed nonetheless. So this is going to be my second dungeon in the game. I don't usually do this one for second. I definitely don't usually at first. But yeah, so Lost Woods is a pretty cool place. I didn't really explain how I knew which way I was going, but that's not relevant anymore. Yikes. Thankfully, okay, so like I broke my glass spear, but thankfully I have a backup. My glass. Oh my goodness. So I gotta get the keys in this dungeon to unlock the doors for the mini boss fights, which give me the keys, which give me the boss keys, which let me fight the boss itself. It's a whole bunch of stuff going on. A lot goes into this game for speedrunning. It's really fun. I'd highly recommend it if anyone is interested in picking up this game. We have a somewhat active community for this game, although it's not the biggest, but I can talk more about that later at the end. But yeah, this game is just a lot of fun. Ooh, I can't pick up that glass ring without breaking it because of the poison, I believe. I guess I could have. But yeah, getting ready to do my second boss fight of the game out of 8 boss fights. This is gonna be Gomaraka's. A lot easier than was Robo, but it just throws eggs and shoots lasers. Not that hard. Just poke it a couple times. Yep, it's dead already. Easy fight. Yep, here are my maracas. Need 6 more instruments. As per the title of the title of the category, all berries and instruments. Going back for this Gore unlock it, so I can swim in lava to skip the first floor of this dungeon. Oh yeah, something I didn't mention earlier is I'm skipping like this room right here. That's though it's 1F. I don't have to do them. All optional, which is great for speed. Oh, here is an item called the Boots of Leaping. This allows me to move 2 tiles at once while I have it active, so I'm going to try to keep this for as long as I can. It's really good, you'd imagine, you know, moving extra tiles just saves more time. Unfortunately, it'll degrade over time. It'll just disappear if I don't find a glass ring, but that's okay. It saves time nonetheless, even if I don't keep it forever. So yeah, here is my 3rd boss. Just gotta kill the guitar guys, and that's pretty much it. Not really much to explain here. You just kill the 4 guys before you kill the big one. Song slaps though. This game has such great music. Keep getting my flawless victories. If you beat the bosses without getting hit or losing any beats, you get 3 choices. You get like a red chest, a blue chest, and diamonds. And unfortunately, my choices aren't giving me a weapon that I want, but that's okay. That's not how you do this. Sometimes I forget I do that skip. But so yeah, that's how I skip this level of the dungeon. That one. Yep. Trying to do a tiny time save and I'm messing it up. That's okay. Okay, so yep, this is the 4th dungeon of the overworld. The present, that is, rather. Before I go to the castle, which will be after this dungeon. So yeah, getting ready to fight Gomaraka. It's a pretty fun fight. One of my favorite songs in the game. I'm just gonna pick up and throw bombs a lot. Pretty easy fight, as long as I don't get hit. Hoping to get a good weapon here, but we'll see. Since this is random, I don't know where my weapons are, for the most part. and I'm not gonna get my weapon. So hopefully I don't break this glass spear, because it's the only good one I have at the moment. But yeah, going to the castle, this is why I woke up Link. I couldn't touch this barrier right here, otherwise. Wait, what? I didn't wake up Link. Oh my goodness. Okay. I never got Link. I forgot to pick up Link. That's okay. It doesn't lose that much time. It is a bit silly though, because you get to see Zelda getting a bit fried by the barrier. Poor Zelda getting electrocuted. Okay, there is a okay weapon, so I'm gonna pick that up. This flail is a move attack, so I can attack and move on the same beat. You kind of use it like you attack in like the pattern of a knight in chess. Although not quite. It's basically just an L-shaped attack. Just gonna save and quit there to save a small amount of time. I'm gonna pick up this just so I can the enchant weapon scroll just so I can temporarily have extra damage later on. Okay, now I can touch the barrier, because now I have Link, and Zelda isn't gonna get zappy this time. Haven't forgotten to wake up Link in a while, it's kind of funny. Okay, so yeah, now I'm in the castle, first castle of the game, of the category, being all bears and castles. Also the first barrier. But yeah, this is one of the harder parts of the game, but all things considered, it's not too difficult. There's a glass ring over there. I'm really hoping I can keep it, because that's gonna allow me to use my leaping more. So that's pretty cool to see. So now my glass will be protected for one hit, and my leaping won't degrade as long as I keep this glass ring. So I'm hoping I can do that. Save a little bit amount of time. Yeah, but like right there, I can just teleport with that blue tile and not worry about getting damaged when I leave, because I can just use my love. And Link can't do that. So yeah, Zelda is just so much better than Link. Like, just pretty much every regard. She's a really fun character. She used to be even more broken. She used to reflect full damage, and instead of having a cap of 2, she's just so good. Oh my gosh. I'm happy I found that glass flail. Okay, so this is gonna be Octavo. This is like the main bad guy of the game, pretty much. He's collecting 4 instruments so he can try to stop Ganon. He saw the future, and he wants to kill Ganon. And we're trying to stop him. This game's lore is fun. I'm not gonna talk much because I want to focus. Okay. Sometimes I'm really bad at that fight, but that was a pretty good attempt. So that was good. But yeah, going to the future now. This is where the game gets a little harder. So this is basically just where a recap of skills and whatnot. It's a pretty fun time. Fortunately, I broke my glass ring, but that's okay. I don't don't know where I'm going. Oh my goodness. I'm not that good at routing. Future. But that's okay. Don't have much to say at this part. Trying to focus so I don't die. Because I definitely could die here if I'm not careful. Thankfully, it's almost done. This section of the game is a lot closer in gameplay to the original Necrodancer than to the rest of the game. So it's pretty fun in that regard. Just a bit spooky at the same time because it's more close to the original Necrodancer. Gonna upgrade my rapier that I got from Octavo here. So now I got a pretty good weapon. Happy about that. I'm gonna use one of my scrolls here to just stun lock that enemy. Okay, and here is where this run's different from from normal 80%. Because normally 80% here, I would just go fight Ganon right now. But since it's all berries and castles, I need to go collect 2 more instruments before I can fight Ganon. And I also need to touch the final barrier as well. So right now I'm gonna go to Gerudo Arena to get the bongos, so that'll be here soon. Can be pretty difficult to go fast here because it's practically an auto-scroller, but technically not. But I'll try my best. But this is 6 floors, with the final floor being the boss fight against King Dabongo himself. Oh, one thing I neglected to mention is that this game loves its puns, especially the original Necrodancer. So, yeah, we got so many puns in this game. It's great. Like Wizrobo, play on, just so many. It's so good. But yeah, I'm trying to kill these enemies as quickly as I can because there's an enemy cap to how many enemies can be on a screen at once in this section of the game. So you need to kill like 20-ish or so enemies to go to the next level. So it's just good to kill them as fast as possible to keep enemies spawning so you don't hit the cap, and just try to end it as quickly as you can. It could be kind of hard to do that since they spawn in the 4 corners of the arena. So it can be difficult to keep up with the enemies spawning at times. That's why I really wanted this weapon, because it just helps me kill these enemies. Just makes it a lot easier of a job. Unfortunately, I keep getting those Wizrobes spawning, which by far are the most annoying enemy to spawn, and I have no control over whether or not they're spawning, or where they spawn. Well, maybe I have control of where they spawn, I'm not sure. How they spawn. Oof, right there, that enemy dropped a ring that I very much do not want to pick up, called Ring of Shadows. Or I guess it's Ring of Stealth. Either way, it makes it so enemies can't see me from further away, so they won't come to me until I get closer to them. That just makes it harder to keep the constant fight going, because they're not coming to me at all times. So I definitely want to avoid that. Unfortunately, I'm not getting a Ring of Piercing, which would make this a little easier. Piercing goes through enemy armor. There are a good amount of enemies that have armor protection. This is all, everything in the future, minus Future Castle, is part of the Symphony of the Mask DLC. Wonderful DLC. Would highly recommend buying it if you've played this game before and you are interested in just playing it again, not even just for speedrunning. It's just good overall. But yeah, the next level after this is going to be the boss. My 6th boss fight. King Bongo. That 4th floor that I just had was actually one of the fastest 4th floors I've ever had. I think that was pretty cool. Unfortunately, it doesn't really matter. But that was nice to see. Ooh, Ring of Courage. Finally getting a ring I want. Since I broke the good one that I had earlier. Getting ready to die, but I'll be fine. Okay, I didn't die. Gonna be a little careful and just equip a protection scroll just in case. Gives me a little extra defense. So yeah, this is King Bongo, pretty boring fight. You just feed him bombs and bomb chews until he dies. He's got 7 hearts on this category. If I maintained my stamina a little better, I could use love to just stand in front of him. But I can't really do that right now. But yeah, this fight shouldn't be too much of an issue. Just a bit time consuming is all. Almost done, thankfully. Yep, 2 more hearts, and then we're gonna be going on to the Temple of Brainstorm, which is my favorite dungeon in the game. Elaborate more on that soon. Okay, gonna pick up these bombs for fight later. Okay, so got my 5th instrument on my way to collect my 6th and final instrument, being the synth. But yeah, get to see more of the DLC, being the Symphony of the Mask DLC right here. Well, it's not gonna showcase all the content from Symphony of the Mask, but that's okay. For the most part, it's everything that you can see that has to offer. So yeah, I'm just looking at my map. At the top left, I can see that's where my temple is. So yeah, definitely want to get used to doing your bleep loops if anyone is interested in speedrunning this game, because just knowing where you're going is very important. So yeah, that just so much time is saved throughout using the Pegasus Anklet throughout the course of this run. It's just so valuable to find. Pretty happy to have found it. But yep, on to the final dungeon of the game. The Temple of Brainstorms is very much a puzzle-based dungeon, much more so than the rest of the dungeons in this game that follow more of a traditional Necrodancer esque playstyle. So there is quite a bit to explain. I'll try to do it to the best of my ability. So for starts, this is a 3-floor dungeon. Always start on the 3rd floor. Right here, I got a boulder puzzle. I cannot leave these rooms until I make both of these boulders land on the blue tiles, and I did it relatively quickly, thankfully. Right here is just a way to go throughout the dungeon. So now I'm in on the 2nd floor now. This is all completely randomly generated, so I have no idea where I'm going. I mean, like, I can like get like a general idea and guess where I'm going, but for the most part, I don't have an actual guide that's telling me, unless if I find a map or a compass. For the most part, I just have to go off of what I know about how these levels generate. When thankfully there's a lot that goes into that can be figured out without needing items, but it's pretty difficult to do, let alone to explain in a short amount of time. But yeah, looking at my map is, or just looking where I'm going is very important. So right now I'm trying to find two things, namely the boss room and the unpowered synth. The unpowered synth is what I need to get to the boss room. So that's my 6th instrument, but I can't use it unless I charge it or like repair it, I suppose. Because right now it's not not in a working state. So yeah, just so many little puzzles and stuff going on here. Here's another boulder puzzle. These follow a lot of patterns that are really fun to solve, in my opinion. Sometimes they require items. This one is... Oh, okay, I see a solution that actually works. Okay, I was struggling for a second to figure out what I was doing, but I got it now. I'm using my bombs to diagonally bomb boost those boulders so I can put them in a more favorable position. Otherwise, I would have had to spend way much more brain power figuring out what the heck I'm trying to do there. Thankfully, I didn't take too long to solve that puzzle. Here's an example of an ice puzzle. Not that much to say here. You just kill all the Lizalfos, and you're done with it. Hopefully this is unpowered synth. Nope. Oh, it's a green Fate Shop. Ooh, runs blessed. Talk to the Fate Shop and she'll tell you where the boss, the unpowered synth is, and she'll tell you where the boss room is, but I don't really need her to tell me because it's right here. So I'm gonna switch to Link. This is one of the uses I was mentioning earlier that Link actually has. Link has the advantage over Zelda here in that he can use his shield to push enemies onto the wire. So I'm trying to get all of these wires filled up, and it's pretty fun. I love this song, I love this fight. This is my favorite fight in like all of gaming. This boss, Synthroba, such a good game. Design, I'd say. It's really fun. But yeah, just gotta keep pushing, or just keep getting these enemies on these nodes and killing them until they're dead. So yeah, there is why I like Link for this fight, because I just shoved that skeleton, that Stalfos. Unfortunately, I'm done with the fight now, so we don't get to hear the awesome music anymore. But yeah, going back to the castle, gotta remember to touch the barrier here, otherwise all barriers in castles isn't valid. Okay, so all barriers have been touched, and now I'm going on to the final fight of the game, being Ganon. Pretty easy fight, all things considered. You just bomb him a bunch. Otherwise, if you don't bomb him, you have to hit him 3 times. Bombs deal 2 damage, so just saves a little time. But yeah, time will actually be coming up really soon once I get to the 3rd phase and get all the characters on the stones. Not the stones, the lit up tiles. Yeah, so, and that is time. Yeah, but yeah, I just gotta get all the characters on those Triforce tiles, and yep, 32 minutes, 26 seconds. Not a bad run. That is 4-ish minutes off of my PB. I also hold the world record for this game. So that's a pretty respectable time. I'm happy with this run. Could have gone worse. Could have gone better in some areas. Pretty happy with it overall. But yeah, as I was saying earlier in the run, then if anyone wants to get into this game, you can check out our community Discord. Um, just shoot, just Crypt of the Necrodancer. I can't remember the specific name for it at the moment. I'm sorry, but I'm sure someone in chat probably knows it. Um, but yeah, that's gonna be it for me. Thank y'all for having me. I had a good time. I appreciate getting to show off this game. Very fun game.